Hello everybody and welcome. We've got round 2 of the Real Racing Club GT3 World Championship at Imola. It's looking much better than last week in terms of conditions, nice and bright. No rain as suggested by the organizer, so let's see if that holds up true. Other than that, it should be a pretty exciting race. Hopefully there won't be any audio problems like last time and I'll get the race start. With that, let's take a quick look at the standings from last time. We see that the race winner last time, Dietz, in the lead with 32 points, followed by Kolesnikov in second place in the Nissan with 28 points. In third and fourth are Cormac Ryan and Killian Ryan. In fifth is Vengrick, behind him King Magi. In seventh is Koenig. In eighth, Luca Conti. In ninth is Herjanus. I missed 10th, and 10th should be Lang. 13th, Nia. Oh man, I messed this all up. We're missing 10th place, unfortunately, but that's alright. In 11th is Lang, in 12th, Neath, in 13th, Money, in 14th, Brulance, in 15th with the final point is Goodbranson, and then we have 20 drivers tied with 0 points. And here we take a look at the constructor standings. In first, we have the Bentleys with 64 points in total. In second place, the Mercedes with 42 points. In third, the Nissan. There's only one in the field, so we'll see how high up the Nissan can climb. In fourth, we have Aston Martin. In fifth, the Audi. In sixth, the Lamborghini. In seventh, McLaren. And with 0 points are both the Ferrari and the BMW. Qualifying is getting underway. So, let's get to the track. We've got some cars rolling out now. 30-minute session, 27 degrees on the track. Conditions aren't optimal on the track yet, so the cars, or the lap times will go down as the session continues. A couple of new names this week, a couple of familiar faces from last week. We hope to avoid any kind of carnage that the blue flags caused last week. So let's hope for the best for that. Most of the cars are now rolling out on the track now, just 4 or 5 cars left in the pits. So far there are 23 drivers. More may pile in as the session continues. Following 4th place in the driver standings, Killian Ryan in the 23 Aston Martin, at the moment going around the toes of hairpin. Just waiting as some drivers waiting to complete their out lap still to go and set a timed lap. These conditions drivers should be able to set 42s, 43s pretty easily. Maybe even a couple of 41s we might see in the qualifying session. Here we see Vincenzo Senatore riding in the 112 Lambo, approaching the line. Cut some traffic in front of him, maybe might be able to good tow. We ride with Zarzecki in the 32 Lamborghini. Just finishing up the Villeneuve chicane now. This is his flying lap, so let's see how high up the field he can go. We'll ride on with him as he approaches the Piratella. Nice and smooth through there. He's got a driver in front. May cause havoc, may help him along in the straights. We'll have to see. Through Aqua Minerale with no troubles. Driver in front letting him by as he approaches the Variante Alta. Over the bumps and down to the Ravazzas to finish off the lap. And we see some drivers have already crossed the line to set their time lapse. Dietz with a 1:43.1. Behind him is Svirkov with 0.8 seconds behind him. As Zarzecki approaches the start-finish line, a little bit rough on the exit of the second Ravazza. Let's see his time as he crosses the line. A 1:43.5, but it won't count as it seems like he went off track earlier. Let's see, what drivers do we have on track that are finishing their laps? We have Killian Ryan Meenen approaching the line. Let's see what time he can post. A 1:43.2, which puts him up in third place at the moment. Further down their laps, we ride on board with King Maji in the number 9 Bentley. Did set a lap previously of a 43.8, but it was invalid. Let's see if he can improve on that time. As he approaches the start-finish straight, if you could call it a straight, it's very twisty, but these cars can handle it flat out. And he goes first overall with a 1:42.060. It's a good time. Further down, finishing their lap, is Vestral 2001 in the 31 Audi. Running a little wide there. Let's see what time he gets as he crosses the line. A 1:45.0. Stays in 15th place. Behind closely Zarzecki. Let's see if he can get a valid lap, and he can. It's a 1:42.6. Moves him up into third position for the time being. As we ride on with the 112 Lamborghini of Senatore. Here he comes to cross the line. Let's see what time he can post. A 1:44.6. 13th position for now. Crossing through the Ravazza is the 76 Aston Martin of Nico Trix. Let's see if he can improve on this time from 17th place. He does improve on his time, but does not improve his place. Still 23 minutes of qualifying to go. Right on with the 98 Bentley of Vengrick as he approaches the second Ravazza. Let's see what time he can get as he approaches the start-finish line, currently in 6th place. Hard on the power, up to the line with a time of 1:42.6. Maybe it was invalid or it was in best time and it did not improve his position. Still stays in 6th place. Here we see the number 11 Mercedes of Neith going through the last corner as he approaches the start-finish line. What time can he post? Still yet to post a time. Up into third place, 1:42.075. Good lap there from him. Next driver to approach the line, improving on his time, is Lukas Svirkov in the 777 Audi. Currently in 12th place. A 1:43.5 is his best time. Approaching the line. Can he improve? Can he get higher than 12th? He can, up to 7th. A 1:43 flat from him. Slightly behind him is Koenig going up to the line, up in 9th. That was his best time so far, 43.0 in the 33 Audi. Next we see Stian Gulbrandsen in the 92 Mercedes, improving on his time now into 14th place with a time of a 43.9. Next driver improving is Senatore as he approaches the line. Can he improve on his 43.3? He can, he goes those. 42.6, up to 11th place for him. As he goes off into the gravel, we ride on with Ole Vestli in the 55 Mercedes going through the Rivazza 2. Approaching the start-finish line, can he improve from 18th place? Coming up to the line now with a time of 1:43.8, moves up to 14th place. Next driver up, improving on his time, is Svirkov. 1:43 flat is his best time. Let's see if he can improve. He does. He goes 0.3 faster, 1:42.7, up into 7th place for him. Behind him, Killian Ryan Meenen close to the line. Can he improve on his time? He does. 42.3 up to 4th place. 0.5 off of Cormac Ryan Meenen, who's on pole with a time of 1:41.793. Next driver to cross the line improving is Vestral 2001. Can he improve from 20th? Best time of 45 flat. He goes up to 18th with a 1:44.3. Shortly behind him, we have Laszlo in the 4 Mercedes up to the line, currently in 13th. Goes up to 9th with a 43 flat. Next driver improving is Luca Conti in the 204 Mercedes. Approaching the line, can he improve from 13th place? He goes 7th fastest overall, 42.663. Track conditions are improving, so these drivers are setting some pretty quick times now. Killian Ryan Meenen going through the second Rivazza onto the back straight. Can he improve from 4th place? Stays in 4th, but improves on his time. Still more than half of the qualifying session to go. Track conditions are still fast. The track temperature has gone up by 1 degree from last time from the beginning of the session. Here we have Hochman in the 74 Mercedes. Can he improve on his time from 20th at the moment? Not quite. Conditions are not yet optimal. Still getting a feel for the track. Everybody is, as the conditions are ever changing. We ride on with Valenduke in the 301 McLaren, improving on his time. Can he go faster than 17th? He moves into 14th at the moment with a 1:43.54. As we ride on still with the 301 McLaren. Looking nice and smooth through the Piratella, approaching Aqua Minerale. Hard on the brakes for the second part of the corner, running a little bit wide, not quite tight on that apex. Up to the braking zone of the Variante Alta, over the bumps. A little bit wide over the exit bumps as he approaches the first Ravazza. A slight kink to the right and then a braking zone immediately. Hard braking zone too. Down the gears. On the power, approaching the second Ravazza. Nice and smooth onto the long final straight. Can he improve on his time? Not quite. Stays 13th fastest overall. Here we see the 198 Mercedes of Holobeck approaching the line, improving on his time. Can he go higher than 16th? He moves up to 14th with a 1:43.5 flat. Here we have the 55 of Nestle approaching the line. Can he improve from 15th? Can't quite get it done this lap. Still 12 minutes left in the qualifying session. On a flying lap at the moment, Hochbein approaching the line. Can he improve from 19th place? Moves up into 15th with a 1:43.5. As we tune into Neath running a little wide out of the Villeneuve chicane, approaching the Tosa. Good smooth exit out of there. Approaching the Piratella. Oh, running a little wide there. Not sure that lap will count anymore. we have the number 9 Bentley starting a flying lap. Let's see if he can improve by 0.06 of a second to get on pole position. Approaching the Tosa hairpin. No dramas through there. The Piratella as we go on board, approaching the Aqua Minerale, very difficult complex to get right. Nice and smooth over the bumps and the sausage curves there, approaching the Variante Alta. Hard on the brakes, over the bumps. He gets a good exit approaching the final 2 corners. Small kink to the right, hard braking zone for Ravazza 1. Tight left-hander. Needs to carry some speed. Not quite. Seems like he's going to be lining up this lap for another flying lap. Here we have the 91 of Coast improving from 18th place. How high up can he get? Up to 13th, a 143.2. Good lap there from him. Up next we have, currently in 3rd place, Neath approaching the line, improving on his time though. His current best, a 141.8, needs a 10th, half a 10th even, to get up to 2nd place. Can he get it on this lap? He improves a lot up into 1st place, a 141.529, pole position at the moment. Amazing lap from him. Next we have Valenduke in the McLaren, approaching the line, currently in 16th. Improves to 13th, a 143.1, as he pulls over to return to the pits. We'll follow Milokos through the final 2 turns. Let's ride on board with him through the first Ravazza. And now the second. Approaching the line. Can he climb higher than 14th in the standings? He can, improves to 10th at the moment. Behind, a little behind now in 18th place, Vesely in the 55 Mercedes. Through the last corner. Can he improve on his time? He can, goes 11th fastest, 142.8. Up next we have Koenig crossing the line, currently 14th, can he improve? Goes 9th, a 142.6. .25 drivers in the qualifying session this time. All of them are pretty close together. Current driver in 3rd place, up to cross the line. Let's see if he can improve on his best time with a 141.7. Not quite a 10th off of his time. Still a 6 minutes left for him to improve up into second or even go to pole position. As we ride with Alvarez, can he improve from 22nd? Not quite. That lap was invalid, but if he does set that time again, he will improve his position. Here we have the 98 Bentley going through the final corner for the last time. That Mercedes in front will give him a good tow to complete the lap. Let's see if he can improve from 7th place. Goes up to 4th, 4/10 off of the pole position time. Next driver we'll ride with is Alvarez again, currently in 22nd. Where is the cameraman going? Approaching the final 2 turns. See if he can get a valid lap in and improve from 22nd position. Approaching the line. Can he get higher than 22nd? He improves on his time, but not the position. Another 2/10 will get him up to 21st. Next driver improving on his time is Senatore in the 112 Lamborghini. Currently in 16th place. Can he improve on his time? Crosses the line. Cannot improve on his time. Ride on with Coast, currently in 11th place, going around the final corner, coming up to the line. Can he improve on his time, which is a best time of 142.8? Improves by a 10th, that moves him up 1 place. The top 10 now. Here we have 2nd position driver Cormac Ryan Meenan in the 12 Mercedes. Can he improve on his time and get pole position? He sure can. He gets it by 0.02 of a second with a time of 141.505. Nice lap from him. Let's see if he can improve even more as we see a driver go off into the gravel. Laszlo improving on his time. Can he get up any higher from 14th? Goes 9th fastest overall, about 1 second off of pole position time. Senatore crossing the line. Goes 14th fastest, 42.960. That's his fastest lap so far. Joseph Dietz, last week's winner at Monza in the rain, currently in 6th place, going through the Villeneuve chicane. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He may have time for one more lap if he can get this lap correct. Letting drivers by. Cormac Ryan Meaden on pole position, still improving on his time. How low can this time go? A 1:41.346. He's now a tenth, almost 2/10 clear of second place. Next driver improving. Holobeck as he comes up to the Ravazzas. Over the bumps at number 1. Smooth through number 2. Can he get higher than 17th? As the time expires on qualifying, the drivers with flying laps will count. So this time will count. He goes 13th fastest, 1:42.786 from him. More drivers finish their lap. Vestrel crossing the line for the last time. Can he improve? Not quite. 21st seems like where he will start on the grid today. Just waiting for a couple more drivers to finish their laps. As the camera pans to Valenduc approaching the Ravazzas. Further in front, we have Kolesnikov, second place from last week's race. Can he improve on his time? Currently in 16th. Behind him is Killian Ryan Meaden, also improving. How high can these two guys go? Up to 15th for Kolesnikov and 7th place for Killian Ryan Meaden. That is the session over. On pole position, we have Cormac Ryan Meaden. In second, we have Neath. Then in third, King Majee. In fourth, we have Vengrick. In fifth, Zarzecki. In sixth, Dietz, last week's race winner. In seventh, Killian Ryan Meaden. In eighth, Conti. Laszlo behind him in ninth. And rounding off the top 10 is Valenduc in the 301 McLaren. In 11th, we have Koenig in the 33 Audi. Following him is Coast in the 91 Mercedes. In 13th, we have Svirkov. In 14th, Holobeck. In 15th is Vesely. In 16th, Kolesnikov. In 17th, Senatore in the 112 Lambo. In 18th, we have Gulbranson. 19th, Hocheveen. In 20th, we have Money. In 21st, we have Vettel 2001. 22nd, Alvarez. 23, Trikes. 24th, Zankaman. And 25th is Gronai. These drivers have a full formation lap to do, so let's hope they fuel up and have enough fuel remaining for the end of the session. A quick look at the upcoming schedule for this championship. Round 1 last week, Monza is in the bag. Right now we're doing Imola. Next Saturday we have the Nürburgring. The week after that we have Suzuka. 2 weeks following on Valentine's Day is Kailami. A week after we have Silverstone. And the season finale will be at Spa. That'll be a fun race. We should have commentary for you for all these races except for Kailami and potentially Suzuka. Um, Other than that, this race today should be fun. There's about 30 seconds left for the drivers to finalize their setups, get fuel in the car, and get ready to roll. Here we hear the 30-second warning, so let's get back to the track. Two Mercedes out in front, followed by the two Bentleys. In fifth, we have a Lambo. Sixth, another Bentley. In seventh, an Aston Martin V8. In eighth and ninth, the two AMGs. In 10th, we have a McLaren. In 11th, Audi, the leading Audi of Koenig. In 12th, another Mercedes of Coast. 13th, an Audi. Behind him, two more Mercedes in 14th and 15th. Following them, the lone Nissan in the field. Then the Lamborghini 112. In 18th and 19th, two Mercedes. In 20th, a V8 Aston Martin. Then two Audis in 21st and 22nd. Another Aston in 23rd. And two Mercedes to round off the grid. Nice and calm from everybody on this formation lap. People wiggling around behind trying to get some kind of heat into the tires, get them up to pressure so they can push hard on the first lap. Lots of Mercedes in this field. Probably have the most of those. This is a pretty strong track for them. Also the Bentleys, as we see. There are two Mercedes and two Bentleys out in front. Let me see if I can change this around. There we go. That's the one. Here come the drivers approaching the start-finish line to start this race off. Soon they'll start having to line up double file. And it is at this point, as they approach the line, the green flag will wave and the drivers can go full power. At the moment, they're limited to about 120 kilometers an hour. Soon it'll be only 70. The track conditions are still fast at the moment, haven't reached optimum. With a track temperature of 28, ambient temperature of 24. Very good conditions for the race today. No rain to worry about as the drivers come up to the start-finish line and we will go green. There's the green. A good start from Neath on the outside. The Bentley might make a move there as Ryan Meaden sticks his nose in on the inside and retakes first place. As Dietz goes off behind him into the gravel, let's see if he can rejoin safely. 3 wide behind. Oh, some chaos behind. Let's see if some drivers can avoid that. Couple of drivers, many drivers getting involved in that. Let's see if this race will keep going. It's still in first place. We have Cormac Ryan Meaden followed behind. In second place by Neath as the timing screen filters through after all of that chaos. In third place, moving up, is Vangarek. In fourth, King Machi. In fifth, Dietz. In sixth, Valenduke. Oh, moving down the order. As these times still filter through, we'll just wait for them to filter through before we get any kind of confirmation on the timings. Oh, I see the issue. King Machi seems to have some damage on the front of his car as a Mercedes behind tries to make a move. Oh, and a spin there. Can he keep it away from the wall? He can. As we ride on with Coast in 11th place. Joseph Dietz in fourth, but with Ryan Meaden right behind him. He's going to try a move into the first chicane. Hard on the brakes from both of them. Can he get a move done? Staying on the inside, he's got it. Let's see if Dietz can come back and maybe try a move into the Villeneuve chicane as he goes a little bit over the bumps. Ride with Laszlo going over the bumps a little bit rough behind him. Svirkov trying to make a move into the Tosa hairpin. Not quite close enough to stick his nose in there. As we look behind, Zarzecki trying a move on the outside. He gets it done, moves himself up into 15th place. Ride with Vincenzo Senatore, followed closely by King Machi in the Bentley, trying a move on the inside into the Variant Alta. Thought better of that. That's a difficult overtake to make. In the lead is still Cormac Ryan Meaden, followed by Neath. In third place, Vendrick. In fourth, Killian Ryan Meaden. In fifth, Dietz. In sixth, Valenduke. Behind him, Laszlo. Then the Audi of Svirkov. In ninth is Holobeck. In 10th, Vesti. In 11th, Vestley. In 11th, Coast. 12th, Goodbranson. In 13th, we have Senatore, who we're riding with now. In 14th, King Machi. 15th, Zarzecki. 16th, Vettel 2001. 17, Koenig. 18th, Sankamen. 19th, Bin. 20th, Alvarez. 21st, Rani. 22nd, Trikes. 23rd, Conti. 24th, Kolesnikov. Not in the pits. 24th, Brunei, who's in the pits. As we see Senatore getting very close to the driver in front. Can't quite get a move done into the Tosa chicane, or hairpin, I mean. Meanwhile, in front, it looked like the two Mercedes are having a battle. Oh my goodness, which ones are they? It's Holobeck, and behind him, Coast. Following them, Goldbranson and Senatore and King Machi. Let's see if the drivers can keep out of trouble. Mercedes train right there, 4 in a row. As we go through the Variante Alta. Track limits will come into play here. Just getting 4 track cuts will get you a drive-through, and that'll be very costly. In the lead, Cormac Ryan Meaden. Behind him, Vendrick, close behind, now up into second place. Let's see if he can get a move done into the first chicane. Not quite close enough to stick his nose in on the inside. try and stay close for sure behind him. As Diaz is still close behind to the Aston Martin of Ryan Meaden. The battle for fourth is on between these two. Further behind, Laszlo approaching the McLaren of Ballantyne. Let's see if we can get any kind of timings up on the board. There we go. As car 20 gets a stop and go for speeding in the pit lane. That's Gronai currently in 24th place. Laszlo still hanging on to that McLaren, trying to get that McLaren to make a mistake or stick his nose in and make a good move. Behind them, the battle for 11th between Coastal, Branson, and Holobeck is on. Mercedes fighting for position. Seems like Valenduke has got a move done on the Mercedes, but the Mercedes comes back into the first chicane and stays in front at the moment. This might give an opportunity to Spirkov in the Audi to make a move and climb up the leaderboard. As at the front, the gap's very close between the leading trio. Branson running a little bit wide there. This might give the opportunity behind to Holobeck to make a move into the Piratella. Not quite close enough to stick his nose there. And Zarzecki catching up to these two as Holobeck runs a little bit wide. Zarzecki making a move on the outside of Aqua Minerale. Not quite. He's going to stay back. Riding on with this trio into the Variante Alta. A little bit bouncy for that Lamborghini. As the Mercedes of Gulbranson is very close now. Can he get a move done on the inside? Not quite. Oh, the Mercedes in front runs wide. He lets the Lamborghini by as well. This gives Holobeck 12th place at the moment. Let's see if Zarzecki can hold off the Mercedes behind and keep 13th place. Zarzecki dives to the inside to protect the inside line. Now to the outside. The Mercedes dives to the inside. Seems like the Lamborghini is going to keep that place for now. While at the front, there is a real train forming up for the lead. We tune into Vengrick close behind Cormac, Ryan Meaden as they approach the Aqua Minerale complex. Behind them, Neath very close by. Ryan Meaden has caught up to this pack, and Diaz has as well. As a car goes wide there, perhaps that was a back marker to let all the cars through. Vengrick having a look on the outside of Variante Alta. He's going to have to brake early. Can't quite get a move done there. This might give Neath an opportunity if he runs wide. And Diaz behind has gotten through in front of Ryan Meaden. He is now in 4th place. As this trio approaches the Ravazza 1. Oh, the Bentley locks up and runs wide into the gravel. This gives Neath 2nd place. Diaz moves up into 3rd. Now Ryan Meaden trying to get by the Bentley. He's going to tuck in behind. Let's see if he can get a move done into the first turn. diving to the inside. Hard on the brakes. Can he stick his nose in front of the Bentley? He can. He gets up into 4th place, trying to chase down Dietz, who is now on the last step of the podium. As Cormac Ryan Meenan stays in the lead, Neath behind him. As the battle for 11th place is still on between Holoubek, Zarzecki in the Lamborghini, and Gulbranson. Holoubek defending. Let's see if he can get a good exit and defend from the Lambo behind. The Lambo gets a good exit. Not quite close enough to take a look into the Piratella. Mercedes in front running a little bit wide. Oh, as he looks on the inside of Aqua Minerale, the Mercedes runs wide on the exit. We'll see if Zarzecki can make a move to the Variant Alta, not quite close enough. Perhaps lining himself up for the next braking zone. Not quite close enough to the Mercedes to make a move now. As in 8th place, we ride with Svirkov chasing down Valenduke in the 301 McLaren. Not quite close enough, it seems, to make a move. Ducks in a little to the inside, makes sure his presence is known. They ride through the Villeneuve chicane. Tutoza not quite close enough to make a move, as we see King Maji running a little bit into the gravel on the exit of Villeneuve. As we ride with Ryan Meenan, Vengrick, after that mistake in the Ravatsa complex, is now caught back up to this leading pack and is trying to get back up to 2nd place. Almost 15 minutes into the race. There's already plenty of action. Keeping up is difficult. Can Vendrick get a move done on the inside? Or outside? Doesn't seem like he's going to be close enough. Not quite. As we go back to the pack from 11th to 12th place, a 5-second penalty for car 32. That is Zarzecki, the driver at the back of this pack. Currently has a 4-second gap to the car behind, as Holoubek on the outside, not quite, can't get close enough to coast to get a move done. Zarzecki lining up a move into the Villeneuve, not quite close enough. That's a quick chicane, that's hard to make a move through there. Nice and smooth through the Tosa hairpin. Not quite close enough, either driver, to make any sort of move through the Piratella going down the hill to Aqua Minerale. As we go back to the leading pack, ride with Dietz 1.3 seconds behind. Second point, a little strange over the bump there. Behind him, Killian, Ryan Meenan, and Vengrick looking to overtake and take the last step of the podium away from Dietz, last week's race winner. Ryan Meenan on the inside. Can he get a move done? Nope, not quite close enough there. He doesn't want to overcommit to a move because at the same time, he has Vengrick close behind him. As we tune in to 7th position, Valenduc, the 301 of McLaren. Still Svirkov behind him, can't quite get done still at this stage of the race. This is allowing King Maji to catch up after his small mistake at the Variante Alta. Ooh, a little wiggly from the Audi. The Audi, can he get close enough to make a move? Not quite. Very tricky to make a move into that chicane. That Bentley has caught right up. 1.5 seconds behind now. As we tune into the lead pack, Dietz defending from Ryan Meenan. Again, Ryan Meenan looking to the inside. Is he close enough to get... Oh, he does get ahead. A small bump there. This might allow Vengrick to take the position also from Dietz on the outside, exiting the first complex. Dietz on the inside into the Villeneuve, the very high-speed corner. Oh, no, and they make contact. Vengrick spins around. Dietz is going to keep going as Vengrick gets a little bit stuck into the gravel. This allows Ryan Meenan to move up into 3rd place. As the battle for first for Neath and Cormac Ryan Meenan still continues. Less than a second between these two for pretty much most of the race. Neath's last lap was his best of the race. This allowing him to catch up as the track conditions have improved to optimum now. Vengrick after that contact now in 6th place, trailing Laszlo in the number 4 Mercedes. The battle for 10th continues. Zarzecki able to get by Holoubek now on the tail of the coast. A little bumpy into the entry of the Variante Alta and bumpy on the exit as well. Holoubek follows behind a little bit. As the leading duo start yet another lap. Ryan Meenan still in the lead, defending well. Behind Smirkov, King Maji has caught up now. On the tail, less than a second separate the two. No dramas through the Tosa hairpin. King Maji not quite close enough. It doesn't seem to make a move into the Piratella. As Vengrick has gotten by Laszlo through Aqua Minerale, tuned in just a second too late to see the move. But let's see if he can catch Dietz in front after their collision through. Ooh, as Laszlo makes a small mistake. position 21 car of Kolesnikov, last week's second place finisher. As the battle for 9th continues between Coast and Zarzecki. Going up to the final straight, let's see if the Lamborghini can get a good tow and make a move into the first complex. Coast defending the inside, Zarzecki on the outside. Good defending from Coast there, not allowing the Lamborghini to get a move done. As they exit, the Lamborghini still following behind. Sticking his nose into the inside, but not quite committing to the move. That's right on board with the Lamborghini driver. Big V10 behind, powering this car, catching up to the front engine Mercedes in front. V8 in that. Although these cars have different specs, you can see the racing is very close. Coast sticking to the inside of Variante Alta. Zarzecki not quite close enough to make a move, or maybe he is on the outside. Now the inside, great move there from him. As Coast now trying to stay close to get that 9th position back. And it looks like King Maji has gotten by Svirkov. He is now on the chase to get 6th place from Laszlo. The gap in the lead duo has grown to about 1 second now. Much closer than before, about half a second. Ooh, Svirkov! A small drift on the exit of the Villeneuve. We have a pause. No cars in a whole lot of action at the moment. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. In first, we have Cormac Ryan Meaden leading from Neath. In third, Killian Ryan Meaden. Fourth, Diaz. In fifth, Vendrick. In sixth, Laszlo. Seventh, King Maji. Eighth, Svirkov. Ninth, we have Zarzecki. Closely behind him is Coast and Holubek and Branson. All closing in on the driver in 9th place. Keeping in mind he has a 5-second time penalty. In 13th, Valenduke. 14th, Vesely. 15th, Hoffman. 16th, Vestral 2001, or Vetral 2001. 17, Alvarez. Behind him, Money. Zankaman in 19th, Kolesnikov in 20th. 21st, Koenig. 22nd is Trikes. The gap from first to second has grown to more than 2 seconds. Maybe Neath has made a small mistake that has allowed Killian Ryan to catch up 1.1 seconds behind. Right on with the trio fighting for 9th place. Zarzecki leading with a 5-second time penalty. Behind him is Coast and Holubek. Holobeck runs a little bit wide. Zarzecki in the Lamborghini has about 34 minutes to pull a 5-second gap to 10th place if he wants to maintain his 9th position. Neath, after some drama earlier, seems to have closed the gap in front. Now 1.2 seconds. Ryan Meaden's still pretty close behind, 1.5 seconds as the Audi moves over to let drivers by. Neath on the charge. Let's see if he can get back on the tail of Ryan Meaden and overtake him for the lead. He must not overcommit though, as he does have Ryan Meaden behind him also. Neath in a Ryan Meaden sandwich at the moment. Tune into Holobeck, right on the tail of Coast now. Can he get a move done into the Variante Alta, looking to the inside? Not quite close enough to get a move done there. Over the bumps they go. Running a little bit wide, Holobeck. See if he can close the gap a little bit and get that slipstream from the Mercedes in front and get a move done into the first turn. First Ravazza, and the second one hard on the power. Staying close to the Mercedes in front, gaining ever so much because of the slipstream. Not quite going to be close enough to make a move as Coast covers the inside anyway. Hard on the brakes for both of them. Holobeck can't get a better exit than the Mercedes in front, running a little bit wide into the gravel, managed to keep it steady though. As Zarzecki has pulled out a 3.2 second lead now. As the cameraman tries to follow Ryan Meaden. 1.1 seconds the gap between him and Neath now. Getting closer and closer every lap. That slipstream will help him as well. McLaren 301. Downduk has caught up to Gulbranson. Let's see if he can get any kind of move done into the first complex as we get the halfway into the race. Close to the Mercedes, but not quite close enough to get a move done. The gap less than half a second. Mercedes, runs a little wide into the gravel. This will give Valenduke the opportunity on the outside of the Tosa hairpin. He gets the move done, gets up into 12th. Blue Aqua Minerale they go. Valenduke still keeping ahead of Gulbranson, who he had just passed. Let's see if he can use his pace and catch up to the Mercedes of Holobeck and coast in front. .5 seconds to gap for him to the car in front. As Neath in front is closing the gap, now 1 second. He extends his gap over third place to right around 2 seconds. Behind third place is a 6.5 second gap to Dietz, and then another 6.5 seconds to the trailing Bentley of Bengrick. 3 Bentleys in a row from 4 to 6, all with right 5 or more second gaps. The battle for the top 3 continues. As Valenduke has now closed the gap to Holobeck to 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds gained on that last lap alone. Branson still staying close to the McLaren, using that toe to his advantage to pull him closer to the top 10. Now in front. The gap is very close. Neath taking a look on the inside. Can't quite get a move done. Cormac Ryan defending that quite well. Perhaps some lapped cars got in the way there. Blue flags to the car in front. That's the orange Mercedes of Laszlo in P4. Let's see if he gets out of the way of these two. Does. He lets these 2 Mercedes go and battle. To go on board with the second place driver. Less than half a second between him and the first place driver. Let's see if he can stick his nose in on the inside of Arantalta. Not quite close enough there. Over the bumps. Nice and smooth for both drivers. Still sticking right on the wing of the Mercedes in front. The first Ravazza into the second. Can he get a good exit? Line himself up for a move. Ooh, very close there. Ooh, a little rubber banding. Ryan Meaden is defending to the right. Neath pulling into the left. Is he close enough to get a move done into the first chicane? Pulls up alongside and gets in front. Neath, good move to get him up into first place. Let's see if he can build a gap now. Ryan Meaden is using the old spec AMG, while Neath is in the 2020 spec. Behind them, Killian is now caught up 1.1 seconds behind second place. Zarzecki, with his 5-second penalty, has grown the gap to coast to 6.9 seconds. He will keep that place even with that penalty. As Valenduke is caught up to Holobeck, going through the first complex, approaching the Villeneuve chicane. A little close there through the Tosa hairpin, but not quite close enough. The top 15 get points. As Valender still wants to get higher up the leaderboard, trying to stick his nose on the inside of Variante Alta, not quite close enough there. He's right on board with the McLaren driver. Lining up the exit of Ravazza 2 for the back straight. Doesn't seem like he will be close enough to get a move done. As we zoom back into the leading trio now. Cormac Ryan Meenan is trying to stay on the tail of Neath to get back first place. No drivers have gotten drive-throughs for track limits yet, that's good to see. But who knows how many track cuts each one of them have. If the driver's got 3, they're going to have to take it nice and easy to avoid getting a drive-through penalty. And that would not be good this late into the race. Ryan Meenan not quite close enough to get a move done into the first complex. Still sticking within half a second of first place. Through the Villeneuve chicane they go. Neath running a little bit wide. Ryan Meenan lining up a move on the outside. Can he get a cut back here? Not quite close enough to get that done. Still sticking on the tail though. As they approach the Biratella, over the hill, onto the brakes, right on the bumper, down the hill to Aqua Minerale. Keeping a steady gap still as they approach the Variante Alta. Showing his nose on the inside, but not quite making a move over the bumps. Not quite close enough, it seems, to make a move for the Puerto. Right, as we say, drive through for car number 4 for track limits. That is Laszlo in 15th place. With that, it's going to take him out of a points position. As Ryan Meenan still very close to the tail of Neath in front. Let's see if he can get slipstream into turn 1. Riding on board Neath, defending in the inside line. He's going to stay there. Ryan Meenan, see if he can get a good cut back into the Villeneuve chicane. Not quite close enough, it seems, to line up a move into the Villeneuve chicane. As Neath does a little wiggle, Cormac has to yield a little bit. This is going to allow Killian behind to catch up as well. Diaz has closed the gap to 5.5 seconds from 6.5 seconds with 20 minutes left. Can he get that gap even closer and try and get a move done for a podium position. The leading trio, less than a second separates the three of them as they go into the Variante Alta. Cormac not quite close enough to get a move into the Ravazzas. Can he get himself lined up for a good tow and move into the first complex? Not quite close enough to the bumper to get a very good tow, but he's still getting closer and closer as they approach the first turn. Hard on the brakes. Staying very close behind though. Trying to get a move done for the lead as they round the Tosa hairpin. Drive-through cleared from Laszlo, only seems to have lost one position from that. Leading trio very close. First place is really up for grabs here. Go back to the 7th place driver of Svirkov. Ooh, Zarzecki was trying a move on the inside, but they just collided. Zarzecki was making good progress. Let's see if he can get that position back with 17 minutes left. That incident will cost Zarzecki a fair bit of time as Coast, it seems, has pulled up on his tail now. That 5-second gap he had is now gone. He will certainly lose it to Coast, but maybe not Holobeck behind. Will remain in the top 10. Let's see if that damage on his front end will cost him as Coast tries to catch up and get a move done for 8th place. The gap at the front, very close as the two come to the Tosa hairpin side by side. Ryan Meenan's going to yield, but this is going to allow Killian to catch up and maybe get a move done on him into the Piratella. The three drivers so close for the entire race. They approach Aqua Minerale, the first part, hard on the brakes into the second, onto the power, into the Variante Alta chicane. Nice and steady, all in a line through there. Let's see if Cormac or Killian can get any kind of moves done as we approach, as we start lap 26 of this race. No drivers, it seems, will be close enough to get any kind of move done into the opening complex. Nice and smooth, all in a line. 1 second separates first and third. It's unable to close the gap anymore. Only 5.2 seconds. Actually, let's see if that gap is improved as the timing filters through. 5.3 seconds, not quite. On the outside again of Tosa, Ryan Meenan trying to get a move done. Unsettled Niath in front. He is very close, right on the bumper. Neath defending into Piratella. This might give Ryan Meaner an opportunity on the outside of Aqua Minerale. They're side by side. Cuts back to the inside, not quite, has to yield and stay in second place. The two Mercedes drivers in the front, very close together. Old spec and new spec separated by 1 to 2/10 of a second. As the Mercedes of Hochman yields to these three drivers who are battling for first place. Cormac, Ryan Meaden getting closer and closer down the straight. Sticking his nose on the inside, but not quite close enough to get alongside. No driver wants to yield their place at the moment. Very close battle between these three as we approach 13 minutes to go in the race. Dietz this lap has gained 1 second, 4.3 the gap now. Darzecki behind has pulled away a little bit from Coast, 2 seconds the gap now. He needs to improve that by another 3 seconds to keep 8th after that penalty is applied. Behind Zarzecki and Coast, Holobeck, Gulbranson, and Valenduke still very, very close together indeed. Let's see if either driver can close the gap in the last 12 minutes. Gulbranson is second behind Valenduke, 1 second behind Gulbranson. Gulbranson running a little wide there. Let's see if this will give Valenduke an opportunity to overtake him into the Toza hairpin. Nope, not quite close enough. Ooh, a little bit wiggly. As Holobeck still on the outside. Can't get any grip. Sorry, not Holobeck, that's Gulbranson on the outside. Valenduke on the inside. Into the Piratella. On the inside, Valenduke. Seems like he will get 11th place as Gulbranson goes sliding wide. Meanwhile, at the front, Ryan Meaden very, very, very close still to Neath, who's hanging on for dear life for first place. Bumper to bumper into the Villeneuve. Ooh, they may have made contact there on the exit. Killian on the outside of Cormac. Can he keep it there? Nope, not quite enough grip. Neath, Cormac, Ryan Meaden, and Killian Ryan Meaden is the order of the top three at the moment. Man, these drivers are separated by just about nothing as we get into the final stages of the race. Killian side by side with Cormac into the Aqua Minerale. Ooh, Killian running wide. That'll cost him a little bit of time as Cormac Ryan Meaden is trying to close the gap to first place and get that back. He started on pole. Running up to the line. The gaps have opened up a little bit after a battle between the two Ryan Meanens. Zarzecki still pulling away from Coast. 3.6 seconds the gap between him and the driver behind. If he can get another 1.5 seconds, that penalty gets wiped out by the gap behind. Ryan Meenen, of car 55, letting drivers by there. The gap now down to less than 2/10. Lining up a move into the Variante Alta. Not quite close enough though. Over the sausage curbs. As they approach the final couple of corners of the lap. The gap from Cormac to Killian opened up to 1.5 seconds. Dietz closing in 3.2 seconds. With less than, I don't know, 5 or 6 laps to go. Let's see if he can catch up and maybe get the last step of the podium. As Cormac Ryan Meenen still bumper to bumper with Neath. Sausage curves of the Villeneuve chicane. Not quite close enough to get a move done into the Tosa hairpin. Aquaman or Raleigh. A little bit of a wiggle there from Ryan Meenen. The battle continues for the lead. Cormac in second. Neath defending his first place. Killian trying to catch up to these two, maybe get even higher on the podium. Dietz behind them, closing the gap. In 5th is Vengrick. In 6th, King Baji. In 7th, Svirkov. In 8th, Zarzecki with a 5-second time penalty. Behind them is Coast in 9th. 10th, Holobeck. Valenduke 11th. 12th, Goodman. Gulbranson. 13th, Vesely. 14th, Vengrick. As Ryan Meenen tries a move on the inside. He's not quite close enough to get it done. Vettel 2001 in 14th, Money in 15th, and that is the last points position. However, behind him is Kolesnikov, trying to get by and take that final point away from Money. Let's see if the Nissan can get a move done into the first complex. Trying to get a good toe lined up. Seems like that Aston Martin in front has a little bit of damage. That might hinder him in straight line speed. Nissan closing, not quite close enough. The Nissan is very good on the brakes, so he should have the advantage when trying to overtake. Behind these two, Laszlo in 17th after serving his drive-through. In 18th is Koenig, and 19th Alvarez. As we see Kolesnikov moving up into 15th after Money runs wide in the Villeneuve chicane. Kolesnikov now takes the last points position. And the last cars on track, Hoekman in 20th, and 21st is Trikes. 3 cars in the pits, Senatore, Zonkaman, and Gronai. Let's go back to the leading trio as Cormac Ryan Meenen trying still to get a move done past Neath for the lead. Still nothing between these two drivers. Ooh, as he takes a look into the Tosa hairpin, not quite close enough. trying to stay close to that bumper of the Mercedes in front. Through the Piratella they go. Meanwhile, the gap from Dietz to Ryan Meenan is now stabilized at around 3.5 to 4 seconds. Let's see it as it goes through 3.8. Killian Ryan Meenan slightly catching up to the drivers in front. Zarzecki with that 5-second penalty is gaining on Svirkov. As we tuned in, we saw him and Svirkov have a small collision in the Toza chicane. Sorry, hairpin. He's gaining on the Audi in front. And in the last couple of minutes, let's see if he can catch up and pass for 7th place. However, it won't really mean anything with that 5-second time penalty being applied. I'm not sure if he can grow the gap big enough in the last couple of minutes of the race. As the Aston Martin of money, whoa, kind of hinders Ryan Meenan a little bit there. Has to cut the first chicane a little bit. The gap after that incident with the lapped car is now 1.1 seconds. With 2 minutes to go, there should be 2 laps left. This lap and the following lap. The top 3 still very close. A small mistake could cost them a position at this point still. Ride with King the G through after exiting the Aqua Minerale, approaching Variante Alta. Solid performance from him in 6th place.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now.
There we have the message. Neath is on his final lap of the race as the leader. Let's ride with him, see if he can bring this one home. After defending from Ryan Meenan for about half the race, he started in 2nd, made a good move to get to 1st, and has maintained that position ever since. Rounding the Toza hairpin for the last time. Cormac Ryan Meenan still less than a second behind. Up to the Piratella. Fast left-hander down the hill to Aqua Minerale, the double right-hander. Smooth through there, no drama, no mistakes. Maintaining his 1st place. Through the Variante Alta for the last time. Up to the Ravazzas. On the brakes. Approaching Ravazza 2. To the last. On the last lap to the start finish straight. Checkered flag waving, waiting for our leader, Neath. There he goes. Behind him, 2nd place, Ryan Meenan. In 3rd, Killian Ryan Meenan. Crossing the line now. In 4th, Joseph Dietz. In 5th, we have Vengrick. Up to the line now. There he goes. 5th place, good result from him. In 6th, King Majee up to the line. Sixth for him. Svirkov in the 777 Audi. The 777 finishing in seventh. Whoa! As a lapped car makes a move on the inside, a small bump there. Seventh place is going to go to Svirkov. And behind him, Zarzecki pulling out 6.7 seconds to the driver behind him. That penalty will keep him in 8th place. As Coast crosses the line to take 9th. Holobeck able to defend from Valenduc. Valenduc in 11th. Holobeck 10th. In 12th, Gulbranson crossing the line. In 13th, Vestley already into the pits. Some drivers have left the session, so it's hard to know where all the drivers have finished. Wow. Battle for the top 5 at a moment was very close indeed. Less than 2 seconds between those drivers at the top. Very exciting round 2. Looking forward to round 3 next week. As we see the drivers chat about some of the racing incidents that happened. A couple of incidents there, most notably the two Bentleys colliding in the Villeneuve chicane. Let's see if there will be any further action taken for that. But at the top, Neath in the new Stepec Mercedes defends from Cormac Ryan Meaden in the old spec Mercedes. In third place, the Aston of Killian Ryan Meaden. In fourth, Dietz. Fifth, Vengrick. Sixth, King Majee. 3 Bentleys in a row there. In seventh, the 777 Audi of Svirkov. Eighth, Zarzecki. In ninth, Coast. 10th, Holobeck. 11, Valenduc. 13th, Gulbranson. 13th, Vestley. 14th, Kolesnikow. 15th, Vetrol, rounding off the points finishers. 16th, Money. 17, Laszlo. 18th, Koenig. 19, Alvarez. 20th, Hochveen. As drivers approach the pits, we see the order down at the bottom. In 21st is Trikes, not finishing the race. In 22nd, Zonkaman. 23rd, Senatore. 24th, Gronai. 25th, Conti. And Svensson not starting the competition. Let's take a quick look again at the schedule. Next week, on Saturday, we have the Nürburgring. Same format as now. 30-minute qualifying, 1-hour race, full formation lap, and no mandatory pit stop. After that, we have Suzuka. 2 weeks after, Kailami, then Silverstone, and the season finale will be at Spa. We'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good night, day, rest of your evening.